Hey guys, my name is Chris Yarbrough. We're here at Fort Richardson State Park in Jacksboro, Texas. Fort Richardson was extremely important during the Indian Wars just after the Civil War. And today we're going to teach you a little bit about the Buffalo Soldiers. Y'all ready? All right, let's go. So who were the Buffalo Soldiers? Well, the Buffalo Soldiers were the first professional African-American troops in the U.S. military. So there were African-American soldiers in the Civil War dating all the way back to the American Revolution. But at that time, they were considered volunteers. So it's an important distinction to put the word professional in front, because now they received the same training as the other soldiers, they received the same wages as the other soldiers, and now they had access to education. Now they were taught how to read and write, an opportunity they didn't have beforehand. So where did the Buffalo Soldier get their name? Well, many believe it was given to them by the Native Americans. But why? Was it to tease them, or was it a term of respect? Well, let's think about it like this. What was the buffalo to the Native Americans? It was a sacred animal, one that they depended on for their survival. And the African American soldiers they saw in combat were fierce and strong like a buffalo, which is why they got their name. So there were buffalo soldiers here at Fort Richardson. And what did they do, you might ask? Well, when you hear a soldier, you might think all they did was fight. That's not always the case. Yes, they did fight. They protected wagon trains that moved across the country shipping goods, but they also helped build this fort. They helped build the buildings that the men stayed in. They helped build this hospital. They also laid telegraph lines, which were extremely important at the time. See, they didn't have cell phones back then. They didn't even have telephones back then. They had telegraph lines, which was the only way to communicate at a long distance quickly. So the Buffalo Soldiers here actually laid a telegraph line from here all the way to Waco, Texas, helping giving the fort the support they needed. I'm here at the barracks at Fort Richardson. This is where the men slept. They didn't just sleep here. This is where they might do some laundry, clean their rifles, whatever it is they might do. They were pretty busy during the day, so whenever they would get free time is when they could handle some of their own personal things. Now, you'd look at these beds, you'd think this is pretty spacious. Well, not really the case. This building was designed for 50 men, but typically held 75 to 100 men, and sometimes all the way up to 150, which meant the men shared a bed here. They sleep 2 to a bed on each, so 4 to a bunk, and they'd sleep head to foot. So you'd have someone's stinky socks in your face they probably haven't washed in a week or two. So why would all of these soldiers be crammed in such small quarters all the way out here in the middle of nowhere? Well, they were here to protect the settlers moving out for westward expansion. And if a problem did arise, they were here to help. This fort was established in 1867, 1 year after the Buffalo Soldiers were established, and was active for about 10 years until 1878, when it was abandoned because the area had mainly become safe thanks to the Buffalo Soldiers. So I want to talk to y'all about the legacy of the Buffalo Soldiers. And to do that, I'm actually going to back it up to the beginning, where it began. Post-Civil War, African Americans did not have that much opportunity to make something of themselves. There was no opportunity for education and moving up in society. The military offered this. They gave food, shelter, education, training. This allowed them to make something of themselves. And not only did they do that, they were extremely good at it. They were notoriously good soldiers on the frontier, some of the best in the Wild West. They were known for not backing down, their strength. They did not desert, which is why they were called Buffalo Soldiers, because they were these fierce warriors. And not just warriors, but support systems, builders. They did everything to help establish and help westward expansion. So if you want to learn more about Buffalo Soldiers or Fort Richardson, please come out and see us, leave something in the comments, or follow us on social media. We'll be happy to teach you more.